Today we're taking a look at the RTX 4070 Super gaming performance in Horizon Zero Dawn. I'll be running the Asus Dual OC model of the RTX 4070 Super, and the platform that I'll be benching on consists of the Ryzen 9700X with PBO enabled. I've got 32GB of G.Skill DDR5 6000 CL30 memory, and the system is running on a NASRock X670E PG Lightning motherboard. As for the benchmarks, I'll be running the built-in benchmark tool at 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. Each of those resolutions at the medium, high, and very high presets, with a bonus of a very high preset with DLSS quality enabled. Let's get into it. Starting off with the 1080p resolution, we'll look at the medium quality preset. The system managed to average about 163 FPS with an overall CPU 99% performance rating of about 113 FPS. The GPU 99% average was about 165 FPS. That 99% average, I believe, means that 99% of the frames were rendered above that level, kind of like the opposite of 1% low, I suppose. Moving on to the 1080p high quality preset, the system averaged about 149 FPS, with the CPU averaging about 101 FPS and the GPU averaging about 139 FPS. Switching to the very high preset drops us to an overall average of about 136 FPS, with the CPU averaging 90 and the 4070 Super averaging 127. Definitely strong performance at 1080p, but that's pretty much to be expected. This card is a little bit overkill for 1080p gaming. I did want to go ahead and enable DLSS quality though, so enabling that at the very high quality preset resulted in an average of about 140 FPS, with the CPU averaging about 91 FPS and the GPU averaging about 140 FPS. Again, 1080p is no problem for the RTX 4070 Super. I'm guessing most people are going to be playing at 1440p or 4K, but if you do for whatever reason happen to be locked at 1080p, this is pretty much what you're looking at. Moving on to 1440p, again we'll start off with the medium preset. The system averaged about 139 FPS, with the CPU averaging about 97 FPS and the GPU averaging 122 FPS. Upgrading to the high preset resulted in 126 FPS overall, with the CPU at 88 FPS and the GPU at about 108 FPS. As for the average performance, it was relatively good here, but I did notice a couple of hitches or frame time issues in terms of the lows, where I did notice a little bit of choppiness throughout the 3 test runs. It really wasn't too bad, definitely still playable, but I did think it was worth mentioning in case you couldn't see it in the capture. Upgrading to the 1440p very high preset, I saw the average overall FPS drop to about 116 FPS, with the CPU dropping to about 80 FPS and the GPU at about 96 FPS. The performance at the very high preset was relatively similar to just the high preset, and across the benchmark runs, again, I did notice some of the lows kind of cropping up there. I would say this is still playable and enjoyable, but it is something to be aware of. As for enabling DLSS quality at 1440p very high, the system average increased to about 132 FPS, with the CPU at 89 FPS and the GPU at 119 FPS. The performance here with DLSS quality enabled was definitely better. There was the occasional frame time issue that I noticed, but it definitely seemed like it felt a lot better than running it without DLSS. Of course, there's no frame generation enabled here, but to be honest, at 1440p, I would probably select the very high preset with DLSS quality enabled. Now we're finally at the 2160p or 4K benchmark runs. The medium preset at 4K produced an overall average of about 83 FPS, with the CPU averaging 66 FPS. The GPU averaged 72 FPS here. In my opinion, this is decent performance, but we are starting to notice that the frame rates are coming down. We're not necessarily getting a high refresh rate experience, and you might notice a couple of frame time issues here and there. Moving on to the high quality preset, the overall system average dropped to about 76 FPS across the benchmark runs, with the CPU at 60 FPS and the GPU at 64 FPS on average. Again, while the quality of the picture is definitely better at this preset, we are looking at a little bit lower performance, and there are going to be a couple of frame time spikes here and there. Moving over to the very high preset, the overall system average dropped to about 70 FPS, with the CPU averaging about 51 FPS and the GPU averaging about 52 FPS. As for the frame time spikes, they're definitely noticeable, despite the average being better than 60 FPS at certain points during the benchmark. In my opinion, I probably wouldn't play 4K very high. This is definitely going to require DLSS, and it might even require a little bit of an overclock for you to get those 1% lows under control or to a point to where you're okay with them. After enabling DLSS quality, again at 4K very high, the overall system average worked out to be about 93 FPS, with the CPU around 63 FPS and the GPU at about 67 FPS. The performance was actually much better with DLSS quality enabled here. There were still a couple of frame time spikes, producing a little bit of a hitch here and there, but overall I would say the experience was definitely a lot better in my opinion. I probably would play 1440p in this game, but I'd consider 4K very high with DLSS quality enabled because I think it makes a compelling argument. Overall, the 4070 Super performed relatively well in Horizon Zero Dawn in my opinion. The 4070 Super is a mid to high-end GPU, but it was released about 2 years ago now. Personally, I'd probably opt for the 1440p high preset at native resolution with a slight overclock on the GPU to make sure that I retain that good quality picture and I have a high refresh rate experience. If you really want to max out all the goodies and go all the way up to 4K in this game though, DLSS quality is really a must in my opinion, and even then, I would probably fiddle around and try to overclock the GPU core and memory to see if I could bring up some of those 1% lows or the frame time issues. If anyone's interested in a dedicated overclocking video, let me know in the comment section below. If you're interested in picking up the RTX 4070 Super that I used in this video, as well as any of the parts that were in the system build, I'll have links in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. As always, if you got anything out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this video with other gamers who are looking at the RTX 4070 Super and how it performs at various resolutions and quality settings. Gaming PC and component testing videos, as well as benchmarking videos like this one, are basically what I create around here. If you're into that kind of thing, make sure to get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Until next time, keep on gaming.